Right guys, we're going to run through arithmetic sequences, and particularly these sort of wordy problems in some cases. Now remember, the formula that you're given for arithmetic sequences is you're given the sum formula as n over 2, 2a plus n minus 1d. But remember, that's the only formula you're given. That's the sum formula for an arithmetic sequence. You need to remember that the nth term formula is a plus n minus 1d. Okay, so we're going to put that information into what we've got. We've got the 10th term of a sequence is equal to twice the 4th. So I know that u10 has to be equal to twice u4. And I know that the 20th term, so u20, has to be equal to 44. So if we write this one out, that means I get a plus and 10 minus 1 is 9. So a plus 9d, that's our 10th term, is equal to 2 lots of a plus, and since this is the 4th term, 4 minus 1 is 3, so 3d. That means I can do a plus 9d is equal to 2a plus 6d. And then if I bring both of these over, so if I subtract a and subtract 9d, I get a minus 3d equals 0. That's one of our equations. If I do the same thing with u20, I get a plus 20 minus 1 is 19, so 19d equals 44. There's my second equation. Remember what we said, that arithmetic sequences, you are going to come up with a lot of simultaneous equations. So a is already the same in this, so I don't need to multiply anything. I just need to do one of them, subtract the other. So top row subtract the bottom, a subtract a is going to cancel out. 19 minus minus 3 is going to give us 22 equals 44. And then if I divide by 22, I get d equals 2. Okay, so I know the difference is 2 each time. All I need to do is work out what a is. Well, I know that a minus 3d equals 0. So a minus and 3 times 2 is 6 is equal to 0, in which case a is 6. There's my 2 pieces of information for the first one. It's then got find the sum of the first 50 terms. Well, now that I know that a is 6, d is 2, and n is 50, we're just going to use the sum formula you're given in the formula booklet. We get 50 over 2 brackets 2a plus n minus 1 times the difference, which is 2. And you can, if you want, just type it all into a calculator. So 25 lots of 12 add 49 times 2 is 98. 98 add 12 is going to give us 110. So we know we're going to get 100 times 25 is going to give you 2,500 plus another 250, 2,750. That's it. That's the sum of our first 50 terms. Right, if we look at question 2, you've got a company which is making bicycles each week, plans to increase its production. The number of bicycles produced is to be increased by d each week, starting from 140. So I know if it's starting from 140, that a is 140. D, obviously, we're just using a d for. So it obviously goes 140 plus d, 140 plus 2d, and so on until the company is producing 206 in week 12. So we know that when n equals 12, you get a total of 206. We're going to need that information at some point. Find the value of d. Well, we know that the general formula is that u12 is 206, and we know the u formula for the 12th term is a plus 12 minus 1d has to equal 206. We know a is 140 plus 11d equals 206. So if I subtract 140 from both sides, I get 11d is equal to 66. D's that they are creating 6 extra each week. After week 12, the company plans to continue making 206 bicycles each week. Find the total number of bicycles that would be made in the first 52 weeks. So be very careful with this. It does not just mean go straight for finding the sum to 52, because obviously they're going to stop at that amount every week after week 12. So if you use the normal sum formula for the sum to 12, and then you're going to add on the extra 40 weeks all at 206. Okay, so sum to 12, that is 12 over 2, 2a, so 2 times 140, plus, oh, I didn't mean to draw that bracket, n minus 1, so that's 12 minus 1 times our difference of 6. That's going to give me the sum of the first 12, and then I'm going to add on 40 lots of 206 because you've got another 40 weeks all at 206. So if we type that into a calculator, sorry, forgot the calculator. We've got 6 lots of 280 plus 11 times 6, which is 66, gives us that, plus 40 lots of 206 is going to give us a total of 18,556 bikes that they've made in the first 52 weeks. Right, if we look at question 3 then, you've got a company which is making 200 mobile phones each week, plans to increase its production. The number of phones produced is to be increased by 20 each week, so that's my D value. From 200 in week 1, so A is 200, to 220 in week 2, 240 in week 3, and so on, until it is producing 600 in week N. So we know UN is 600. Find the value of N. Well, UN, and remember that is, they're producing 600 in the week N. That does not mean the sum to 600. So we're using the normal nth term formula, A plus N minus 1D. We're just going to substitute everything we know. We know it's going to be 600 that they're making. We know A is 200, N minus 1 times 20. So if we subtract 200, I get 400, and I'm left with 20 lots of N minus 1. If I divide by 20, I get 20 is N minus 1, and then if I add 1, it would be week 21. That gives us our 600 phones that they've created. Next one, the company then plans to continue to make 600 phones each week. Find the total number of phones that will be made in the first 52 weeks, including week 1. So that means, same as we did last time, you're going to do the sum to 21 weeks, and then after that, the remaining weeks, so the remaining 31 weeks, are all going to be at exactly 600. So, sum formula first. Again, this one's the one that's given in the formula booklet. It's the nth term rule you need to remember. So we're doing the sum to 21 is 21 over 2. A was 200. N is obviously 21, so 21 minus 1 is 20 times the difference of 20. And you're just going to type that into a calculator. You get, in the first 21 weeks, they've made 8,400. And then remember, that's 8,400 for the first 21 weeks. And then the remaining 31 weeks are all 600 mobiles each week. Gives you 45,600. Okay, and that's how many they'd make in those first 52 weeks. And that's it for arithmetic sequences.